All right, ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
The
guys,
week.
welcome.
This is the week.
The week. This is not just the week. Urban Myers has made it clear. This is a way of life for many of us. But this is a great week. It's Thanksgiving week, short week for those at work. Do you have all Friday, bro?
Yeah, all Friday.
All Friday. I'm off Friday too. This is a Thanksgiving episode. We're going to actually drop this. Let's drop this on Thanksgiving. Why not? Why not drop this on a Thursday? We should do that. But we haven't done a trust of the week in a while. But I wanted to at least relate to the holiday. Anytime a holiday comes up, we can at least easy get a good one to go. But I wanted to see, what is your trust, no matter what? It could be Black Friday shopping. It could be what you put on your plate that I trust this to be the hit of my Thanksgiving plate to go ham on.
That's a good question. I think for me, my side trust has got to be mashed potatoes, man. I load up on mashed potatoes. I'm a big turkey guy, turkey ham. I feel like more and more people aren't that. At least that's what I'm like hearing and seeing. Like, I feel like the main dish is kind of getting like separated aside. And I know now my family will make like lasagna and shit too.
Okay.
But for me, like, give me the traditional plate, but I'm loading up on mashed potatoes too, man.
It's crazy. You could tell the white versus the black household. Like the white kid's going with the mashed potatoes, whereas the black dude, you're always going to hear, I'm going with the mac and cheese.
I knew it was, yeah. Yep.
You're always going. But for me, I feel like, okay, so this is what we got to talk about too. This is when because this is the only time I'm allowed to cheat. I haven't cheated in like a month and a half. And I'm dying, dude. Like Thursday, like I'm starting Thursday, like tomorrow night at midnight, I'm getting McDonald's and I'm cheating the whole day because I haven't been able to cheat. I'm fucking up, bro. But
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It's part of things. It's Thanksgiving Day, so it doesn't.
Exactly.
You said you got the day, but I want to know: are you a guy who you need your stuff separated? Like you take a mashed potatoes, or are you like on the scoop? It's bang, 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 bang.
I need it. I debatably need it all together. Like it's all going in the same place. And look, you limit your plate space, right? So I'm loading everything up on top of each other.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like a taco bowl almost, but for Thanksgiving.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would say for me, a go-to is I don't care if people call it dry. I need a white turkey meat. I need white turkey meat. I don't like the dark meat. Give me white
dark,
turkey.
Man.
Really? Okay, so you might be a brother. You might be a brother. But I need the white turkey meat, and I need to have candy yams. Like I need the yams, and the yams like that, but mashed yams, and then that to me brings a sweetness from the turkey being so dry that it doesn't matter because I'm on one fork, I'm hitting that turkey meat, I'm hitting the sweet potatoes, I'm hitting the mac and cheese, and then collard greens as well, and it's all going to the same place. But also my go-to is, and that's the only thing I ask my mom to make, and I don't care if she doesn't cook, but at least make that so I can take it somewhere, is deviled eggs. I'm a deviled egg killer.
Oh yeah,
I'll kill a carton of deviled eggs, bro.
Easy. What's your favorite pie?
So I'm not a pie guy. I never give a fuck if it's a pumpkin pie. I know it's white and black. Pumpkin pie versus what's the other one? Sweet potato pie. That's the two. I could care less. I think pies are overrated. No one gives a fuck about a pie until Thanksgiving. But it's just so you want to talk about dry? Tell me, and it's the texture. It's dry, and the texture to me freaks me out. I can't do it.
The texture, no, that's completely fair. I guess like by default, pumpkin pie for me, but. Okay. If you showed up and there wasn't any pie there, I wouldn't be like upset with you.
You wouldn't. I mean, you want it for the aesthetic, for the pick. You need it.
Yeah, it's good, but I don't need it.
To me, that's like what's that fucking? I don't know why I know the candy corpia or whatever that thing is. Like the hell's the fruit basket? Like if that's not there, no one gives a fuck. But I look at that as the same thing I look at a pie. Like it's just a decoration piece that you need. I only would see like one piece of that being taken out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're getting sent home with the most because everything else is getting eaten.
I debated. I said I think day 2 is the best day. Thanksgiving is too much pressure because you're like, you know what? I want to save my appetite. I want to dress well. The family, talking with family. You don't want to be an asshole and load up the plates. But especially if you host, it sucks hosting because it's dirty. Your house gets dirty. But I love hosting because day 2, you're eating Thanksgiving for breakfast. You're eating Thanksgiving for lunch. You're eating Thanksgiving for dinner. Like day 2 for me is the best because one of those I'm making a sandwich. Like I'm making
exactly.
I'm going to ShopRite, get me the flatbread. Like the fatness of me comes out, and I love being able to load up a Thanksgiving sandwich and just eat that shit down. Like you don't get that often. So to me, I think day 2 is my favorite day of it all.
Yeah, that's true. And look, man, we got football on Friday too. We got some good college games, Black Friday, NFL games. So this is like I told Sabrina we'll go Black Friday shopping like early. That's more of a me thing. Like I want to just be out. But then once we
Where do
got
you like to go? That's so crazy. I think you're one of one guys who's like, I like to go Black Friday shopping. So where are you hitting?
Well, I was talking about this with somebody, and I never used to be this way. But as you know, I work remotely and I'm in sales, so I constantly talk to people, but I just need to be around people.
Okay.
So, like, this is my excuse, just like get in the thick of it. And honestly, we're not going to hit many stores, maybe like a
Are you
Walmart or
hitting them all?
No, only like a
Okay.
couple. Like I will, probably like a Walmart or like Dick's Sporting Goods,
Okay.
and then like Costco. See if they got a couple good deals. Worst
Okay.
case, they don't, and it's a normal Costco trip. But I
Okay.
feel like after those like 2 or 3, you're gonna be like, all right, get me the fuck out of here because people are nuts.
Yeah, I'm not a good. I don't even like going out in public now. Like I hate grocery shopping. I hate shopping, and really, there's never anything for me to
Mhm.
ever buy in person because of how big I am. Like I could never buy like shit in person. But I love the one thing I'm excited for, and I think I'm gonna do it this year is go out for Black Friday. In Cherry Hill is a Carhartt store, so I'm like
Yes.
excited to hit the Carhartt store to see like what the fuck you have there because I know that my size is gonna be there and it might be like little sneak deals that I can pick up in Carhartt. So
Yeah.
like, but I'm a Cyber Monday kid. Like I've already bought some like Black Friday shit online, but I'm a Cyber Money kid, bro. Like I'm on
Yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like especially since COVID happened,
yeah.
like Black Fridays throughout all November now. Like the amount of emails and texts
Yeah.
I got of like, I think I even texted you about the one like the Bucked Up brand where it's like Black Friday
Yeah.
deal like last week, you know?
Yeah.
So it's lost a little bit of its appeal.
That's true. That's true. I can get down with it. I'm there for it. Hey, but like Liam mentioned, it is the week of all weeks. It is around the of college football. If you're not a college football fan, if you're like, you know what, these games suck. There's some bullshit games. Look at Alabama beating Chattanooga, but you know, by these points. This is the week that if you want to become a college football fan, this is the week for you, man. This is rivalry week around the college football, but there's no bigger rivalry in sports. And I think this is the biggest game in today's times to come down to 4 teams got to make it. Ohio State and Michigan. This is the Big Ten championship. This is who goes to the championship game. And I already said, Liam, I got to start it. We're smoking that Michigan pack.
Hell yeah. Oh. early. Yeah, a little disrespectful to Iowa, man, to call this the Big Ten championship. No, I'm kidding.
Iowa.
They're gonna get they're gonna get killed. But that's look, man, like you said, this has always been the game. This is the rivalry in the sport. And now especially it's number 2 versus number 3. The way that this season's gone with other teams around it. I know we got both teams in the playoff last year, but this kind of feels like the loser is just going to be like the 5th team. You know, like they're going to be screwed.
But I'm excited to see it play out. Okay, so the rankings came out. Of course, you see, I have it here on the screen. You have Georgia, number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Michigan, number 3, Washington, 4. That drop for Florida, you have to say it's because of the injury. Like
and we got to say, so we're recording this about an hour or 2 hours before the college football like new rankings. So by the time this comes out, who's to say what it's at? But like that, this is what we have at our disposal right now.
Exactly. So I think that there's a way Ohio State still make, and I don't want to speak in like Liam. Before this week, I was telling you, I was like, yo, Michigan is playing pissed off. I'm nervous for what Michigan may do to Ohio State. But after watching what Michigan did this week, we win this game. If we come out and go up on them from the get-go, why don't we win this game? Can you stop Henderson? Can you stop the best player on the field? Let's go team for team. You want to go quarterback for quarterback? Do you still take, I don't even know, it's McCarthy or what's his name?
Yeah, McCarthy.
McCarthy over our quarterback? Tell me what's the difference in the two? I see no difference besides a guy that was hyped up that should win the Heisman to a guy that's not even talked about anymore.
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest difference is experience.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, you're right. I mean, there's definitely not, like going into this season, and you've been talking about this, the biggest obstacle, I guess I'll call it, or downgrade for Ohio State, if you will, is Kyle McCord, right? Like you've been saying that since week 1. You're like, if this kid can figure it out, like we'll be fine. As to where JJ McCarthy was like week 4, and we're talking about him being the Heisman. And your last big test a couple weeks ago against Penn State, he didn't have a pass attempt in the second half.
Wait, a Heisman guy doesn't have a passing attempt in the second half? Now let's see. Let's see if you want to be cocky against Ohio State and let him rip some shit. Let's see what happens. Let's see you game plan and say, you know what? And I did say to you, and I texted you, Liam, I said, yo, Michigan's playing pissed off. Like, I think that you would look at this like the stuff with Jim Harbaugh as if it's like it can go one of two ways. Either they fall or they piss off, and they're pissed the fuck off. They are beating teams. But I'm not scared of them running the ball versus Ohio State. I'm not worried about that. I know our defense can stop their running game. I was concerned about because last year they fucking killed us in the throwing game. They had a tight end that their tight end was amazing. You know, McCarthy like killed shit in that end. But not seeing McCarthy do anything now, by all means, let Ohio State run the ball. Can you stop Henderson? Can you stop our backup? Can you stop the best player in college football right now? Right. Maserati Marv? And you know my guy's calling the game. I can't wait to hear Gus call it a fucking bomb. That's the only thing I'm worried about is if Kyle McCord goes into that without having the confidence to say, I'm going to let this shit go. I'm going to let this shit sling because he has been a little bit hesitant and we have been using our running game. But that's the only concern I have.
Look, first of all, you're right. Gus Johnson, he's the best in the business. That's the one you and I disagree and agree on a lot. That's the one thing we'll always agree on. He's the man. Glad he's calling.
He calls him Maserati Marv?
Yeah. He's just awesome, man. He's the best in the sport. He's just electric. So when I had Dave on last week, we kind of talked about it, and we talked about our playoff predictions. And based on that, he had Ohio State winning this game. I had Michigan. Now, what I'll say is that Maryland game was less of a concern based on what it was and where it was in the schedule. I mean, not to give excuses, which this is going to be one, but you had at Michigan and then home against Ohio State. And right in the middle is Maryland, which in the beginning of the season, like they were playing pretty good ball. Like you kind of had maybe a little feeling this was going to be a trap game. I called it wrong. I thought Michigan was just going to come out and smoke them. And early on they did. What worried you was kind of how they fell back a little bit. And that is where it was kind of like, okay, we got out to our lead. We'll breeze through the rest of this game. Like we got Ohio State next week. That is where they fell into the trap.
You're saying Michigan versus Maryland.
Yes. Michigan versus Maryland last week. Now, I'm a little concerned because this is what you've said, right? This is what we both said. If it's going to go one way or the other, either Michigan's going to play pissed off, which they have, or it's going to really affect them in relation to Harbaugh. Well, now as more shit's kind of coming out, like they had one of their linebackers coaches leave. Now the rumor is Harbaugh's gone after this year. Either he's going to the NFL or he's just going to take a break. I almost look at Ryan Day, and this is something you and I talked about before the season started, that Ohio State could go undefeated, lose to Michigan for the third straight year, and his job, weirdly enough, would be in jeopardy because that's what you get hired at Ohio State to do, is to beat Michigan and win national championships. Yeah. So the pressure's more on him to save his job versus Harbaugh, who 100%. Is he 1 foot out the door? Yeah. Like we don't know. So like as I have thought more and more about it, my concern is that the distractions for Michigan haven't affected them too much just yet. But on the other side, like Ohio State, man, they haven't been talked about enough. Yeah. I know you follow them closely, but like other than that Notre Dame game, which they came back and won on the last second drive, like this team is not
in the gym. When we were in the gym Sunday, you said a young quarterback drove down the field at Notre Dame, throwing the ball. We didn't run the ball. We threw the ball and came down and scored. So that's what matters. And that Maryland game, don't get it twisted. It's still a close score at the end of it, but that Maryland game, thing got out of hand within 90 seconds. Within 90 seconds, Michigan went down, scored, blocked the punt for what's it called?
A safety.
A safety. And then they also then got the ball back again and scored right away. That is hard for a team like Maryland to bounce back from and then go out and win. And Tua played like shit. Like Tua's little brother played like shit. Like he played an awful game. That's what it was. He fumbled. He just fumbled the ball down in their goal line. Like just fumbled the ball. So it gave them Michigan the game right back to them. So they go up 2 touchdowns in the safety within 90 seconds. So it's like it's hard to come back from that. But Maryland still kept it a great game. And I really do. I love the hype of Michigan. Like I'm telling you, Liam, 3 weeks ago, I was like, fuck me, man. I am fucking nervous for this shit. Michigan, Ohio State isn't rolling yet. Hey, we're firing on all cylinders. I've been watching. Of course, I have all the Instagram pages of like who's sitting out, who's not playing. Our defensive guys have been sitting. And I've been seeing this guy isn't playing tonight. This guy isn't playing tonight. And you see why. And I'm like, oh, they're getting ready for Michigan. They're not. We know we're going to beat Minnesota. We know we're going to beat these teams. We know we're going to beat Michigan State. But let's get ready for the big one. This is big time. And I say it's going to be some brawls. It's going to be some fighting.
I hope.
It's going to be some shit talking. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that this is the first game of the day because either my day can go either two ways. Like, I'm happy all day, or no matter what, I can bounce back and watch some great games for the rest of it. But I still think that with this loss, let's just say Ohio State loses or Michigan loses, whoever loses, are both of these teams, the Big Ten teams, able to still be in the college rankings to make the college playoffs? Because you have, I believe, Georgia will lose to Alabama.
I kind of think so too.
Losing to Alabama, that helps our favor. That keeps us going. Of like, Georgia's now out. Georgia may drop to 5, and that sneaks us back in because we beat Michigan, who will go on to win, and that's what helps us as well. It sucks that we have to play pretty much. None of us will see a Big Ten championship because it's like,
I know,
if one loses, one gets in. It's so dumb, but it's like, it's going to help us out by them winning the Big Ten championship and showing that they're a dominant team. We deserve to be back in here. If it's a close game, we deserve to be back here, just like last year was.
Yeah, and that's going to be the question. And I know we're going to talk about it later with Jordan Travis injury with Florida State, but like now they're kind of an outlier. And this is where the committee is going to be really challenged. And partially what I think they don't want is if Bama beats Georgia, because this is what Dave and I talked about. We brought this up last week too. If it were me, no disrespect to you or Michigan, if Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game, I'm putting Bama and Georgia in the playoff. Because Georgia has gone 3 straight years, this being the third, of not losing a single game and having their only loss be in the conference championship game. Like, I can't put them from 1 to 5 because they lost to Bama, who would also go into the Final Four. And then you have to assume the Pac-12 champion, either Oregon or Washington. One of them is going to make the playoff when they win the Pac-12 championship. I think that that's pretty much a lock.
You think they're going to throw Washington into the playoff?
I think, again, there's a chance when the playoff comes out tonight, as we're recording, that Washington jumps Florida State and is now number 4. And I think that you'll have Florida State 5, Oregon 6. And I think if Oregon beats Washington in the Pac-12 championship, they will put Oregon in the playoff.
Yeah.
Being a conference champion, like a one-loss conference champion, especially Oregon, like they lost by 3 in a tight-ass game at Washington, and then got the revenge in the conference championship game. The Bama's the wild card. Maybe they don't put them in. Maybe if Bama beats Georgia, maybe they're like, nah, look, sorry, like you still just missed it.
Yeah,
Texas is still out there. Like, what the fuck do you do with Texas? I don't really think they have a shot unless everything goes to shit. But I don't know. This year's weird. This year you would almost be rooting for, I think, a Florida State loss in the ACC championship game.
I don't. Fuck, man. It's still. Wait, did it come out already?
I think it comes out at like 7:00. So that's
Okay, yeah. So it's showing Georgia number 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, Washington 4. That can flop. I think, dude. I think
that's like the ranking. The playoff is like different. So I don't know at this point. Like the ranking, I don't know how they really compare. But
I'm telling you right now, I think you just see a shift. I think you see Oregon go 4. Georgia or Michigan goes 1, Georgia goes 2, Ohio State goes 3. Like I could see us just shifting down 1 just because it's going to be internal shifts like that could happen.
You're saying after this week?
After this week, yeah.
Okay.
After this week.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Like honestly, because here's the other thing. If Florida State goes undefeated and wins their ACC championship game, like
they're not putting them in.
I guess you have to put them in at that point, but that's so ass for either Michigan or Ohio State to be sitting there and be like, what the fuck? Like our only loss was against a top 2 team in the nation.
Yeah.
Like one loss.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really this is what we talked about last year. Like if this game gets played week 1, Michigan and Ohio State went out and they both make it. Yeah. So I don't know.
But again, you could be hurt as a fan, but at the end of the day, this is what makes college football the best sport in the world because it's you lose 1 game, you're out. NFL, you lose. Let's just say like especially the NFC East. Everyone sucks at NFC East. You're 500 and still make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like that can happen. This is not happening. You're a 2-loss team like Texas. You're ranked 7. Like you know what I mean? You lost big games, but like it's. I think we stay in. Hey, if there's ever a time in which Ohio State needs to prove something, it's right now. I mean, we've dominated Michigan for 20 years plus. This is the first time that Michigan could go to win 3 in a row. Has never happened between the rivalry. That I mean, it has with Ohio State, but
I was going to say, yeah.
For Michigan to do it, Ohio State, you got a lot to stand on, bro. This game is important for both fucking teams, but I think it's so much more important for Ohio State because it has Ryan Day sitting there. And all weekend, all I was saying all weekend was it pisses me off to see how good CJ Stroud is and the fact that he doesn't have a ring. That's what pisses me off. It's like the fact that he doesn't have the ring, it shows you it wasn't him. I mean, I go back to the game, and that's just the biggest heartbreaker to me. I'm like, CJ Stroud played the best game I've ever seen a quarterback play against a number one Georgia, like a actual number one Georgia team, where these guys are like fifth year fucking seniors, big dogs. Like, look what all of Georgia guys had done in the NFL now.
Yeah,
he almost beat them alone. So it's like that pisses me off. So it's like Ryan Day, get the fuck done. Get it the fuck done, man.
That's why, unfortunately, like I was starting to really lean Ohio State, but I said this last week with Dave too, and I heard someone say it last year, and it's more true this year. And it showed exactly that last year. Yeah. Ohio State is built to beat any other team. Michigan is built to beat Ohio State. Like that's why we saw last year Michigan take care of Ohio State, but Ohio State was really the better championship contender when it was all said and done. They took Georgia to the wire. Michigan got rolled by TCU, who eventually got rolled. But I think Michigan at home, more veteran quarterback. I just think they're built to beat Ohio State, and I think the pissing off of Harbaugh not being there is going to be bigger than the distraction of him not.
Hey, I'm still speaking for my guys, bro. Go Ohio State, baby, all day. Let's go into the Big Blue and like fuck them guys up. But so next year we get the 8 games, right? The 8 teams in the playoffs.
I think it's 12, right?
Oh, 12. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. You're right. 12. But I was thinking about this too. If you look at, let's just again, the rankings haven't come out yet. But if you look at the after 4, you get Florida State, Oregon, Texas, Bama. After that, it's fuckery, right? You get Louisville, Missouri, which was a great game that you're gonna watch. Penn State, Mississippi. So I think it's going to be some years until you start to see those guys past the number 4 start to be able to maneuver their way into where I think you're going to start to see that there's going to be blowouts until you get to the 4s and these big games.
Yeah.
It's going to take some years for recruiting the new traits where you start getting like that college basketball feel of upsets happening in those realms by like a number 12 team beating number 1. You know, you may get that at some point. It's going to happen, but I think it's going to be some years until you start to see like, oh, these teams are like it's going to be SEC, Big Ten. I mean, Big Ten's going to be crazy next year, but SEC, Big Ten, and then you may get a sneak in there from these like Notre Dame and stuff like that. Like
right.
It's going to be some time. I can't wait. I can't wait for the 12 game. That's going to be amazing.
I can't either because
like the stress is not going to be there. The stress isn't going to be there anymore. It's like we're in. Let's beat our guys.
Yeah, you're right, and I think I could be wrong, but I want to say they give buys to either the top 2 or top 4 teams. At least I think they should.
Yeah.
But I mean, you look at like this year, man, how fun the 12-team playoff would be. And you're right, like Louisville, Missouri, even Penn State, like, they don't really move the needle for me.
Yeah.
But when you talk about what this 4-team playoff is going to look like, and potentially you have, let's just say Ohio State loses, Washington loses, and Bama wins or loses but miss the playoffs. Like those are 3 teams that have been balling out all year that I still want to see in the playoff. Yeah, I know we got to wait, but it sucks.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. But hey, while we're talking about it, you might as well show it. I got into this debate with my dad. The Jordan Travis scary injury. I'm gonna bring it up here. Let's take a look at it right now. All right, so we have Jordan Travis getting tackled. He gets leg done, leg twisted, left ankle broken off. If you're watching on the YouTube. But you see him like just screaming to the sideline. He is a 5th-year senior, correct? Like that's it. A lot of people are saying he'll never play ball again. But that tackle has been debated. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't think it was intentional. But watching that back, and I was like, that is blatant. Like he's trying to pull him back down. I don't know how you get rid of it. It's ball. I've never tackled anyone like that. I said if I'm tackling someone like that from behind, I'm pulling left or right. I'm never pulling back. I don't know why you would pull back if you're getting dragged, I guess. But like that should be a penalty. It just gets a penalty of like, yo, roughing, or even if it's not the quarterback. But like, if I see you trying to lay down one's feet, just throw a penalty flag. Not like it's not targeting. It's not the worth of targeting, throw him out of the game. But that could start to change the mentality of how do I bring this guy down from behind.
Yeah, and I think it's almost too like you said, it's not so much how the tackle happens. Like, I think they want to ban just you putting your body weight into the legs, because we also saw it on the Thursday night game with Mark Andrews, and now he's probably out for the year. And it was a similar thing, like tackle him from the side, put his weight down on his leg, like left his feet, like put his entire body weight on. So I think this has been something that's been talked about off and on for a few years. Now you have two significant injuries. Like, it's not just ankles or, high ankle sprain, they'll play through it, it sucks, whatever. Like, you have one of the NFL's best tight ends now out for the rest of the year. And then on the same weekend, you have a Florida State team that is primed for a playoff, undefeated, fifth-year senior quarterback who's been their leader, shattered his leg because of it. It snapped in half. Yeah. So I think this will probably be in.
Florida State doesn't get in, because I think they'll take that into consideration. You don't have your star guy in no more. I can't vote you in, because I vote you in. It's a gimme, but it's like you can't do that because TCU was that way, and TCU got in, beat Michigan, and then went and fucked it up. So it's like, what do you do?
And I saw this. I saw it said, I think it was the first year in 2014. Similar thing happened to your Ohio State Buckeyes. I think JT Barrett was the starter who got hurt late in the year. They still made the playoff, still made some noise. So again, look, they may not beat. Like, I don't know anything about their backup. They very well may not beat Louisville, and then it's not even a conversation. But I don't know. You're right, because if the committee looks at what they want, which I don't think they should, or don't think that they will, but like, you probably would rather have like Georgia, both Michigan and Ohio State, and then the Pac-12 champion in versus the backup quarterback for Florida State, who it's been said all year that like Florida State's schedule has been the easiest anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but so for Ohio State, do we need number one? Do we need to be voted in tonight at number one in order to, if a loss happens, solidify a spot?
I truthfully think you would need a Florida State loss, number one, and a Georgia win to feel confident that the loser of Ohio State Michigan has a good chance of still getting in.
Georgia win, though? You would rather a Georgia win?
Because what I think is, I really think, and I could be wrong, if Alabama beats Georgia, I think both of them would make it. I think both of them had a chance to make it.
I can't see them both making it.
Just to be safe, I don't know how you can look at Georgia, back-to-back national champions, haven't lost a game all year. Their only loss was in the SEC championship game against a one-loss Alabama team who, it's fucking Alabama. Like, can you drop them from 1 to 5 because of that?
Oh, you can drop them to 4 and leave out and throw in an Oregon or Washington, but keep in Michigan, Ohio State.
I think Florida State's the key. So Florida State, I think if Florida State loses the ACC championship game, I think that probably. Now, I feel like even if it's a blowout, like if it's
funny, we need that last year too, right? We needed we needed USC. We needed a USC loss.
Exactly, and it happened. So I think you're right. If Florida State loses, then there's a good chance. I would just fear that if Bama beats Georgia. Yeah, look, the committee loves Bama. They want Nick Saban in.
Yeah, they make it up. It's a makeup call.
Yeah, they want him in. If they beat Georgia, I don't see a world that Alabama doesn't get in.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, either way, it's going to be a great day of football for college. Yeah. Let's go look through the games. We play still on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we have. Thursday, at least you get 7:30 night. You get Mississippi State. Great game.
Friday's got a couple good ones too.
Yeah, Friday you have Iowa, Nebraska. Friday, TCU, Oklahoma. Friday, you have
Oregon State is a huge one.
Oh, that's a late night game too. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Texas versus Texas Tech and Missouri versus Arkansas. As well. Hey, that Missouri game was one of the best games I've seen it so fucking long, man. That Missouri versus Florida game was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had money on the over for Florida versus Missouri. I think the over was 61 or 62 to go. Big boy from Missouri throws up the fucking top as he makes the game-winning fucking field goal to put the over to 64 for me to win it out. So it was amazing.
That's actually something, too, going back to the playoff. Florida State plays Florida this week. So I know I was just jumping to the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's totally crazy to think that Florida could pull the upset because then at that point, even if they win the ACC championship, if you lose to Florida, you're out.
Hey, I mean, Florida has been playing tough this year. I mean, they had a tough loss versus LSU, tough loss versus Georgia, but they've been playing big teams. Like they're not playing they had a tough loss for Kentucky. That's what threw them out of the ranks. But they beat early. They beat Tennessee 29-16. So that was a game in which like Florida was looking up and then they just fucking lost it all. But no matter what, the big time late night game is going to be that Oregon versus Oregon State game.
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
That might be plate number 2. Sitting down watching that game.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, man. Hey, rivalry week is upon us. Let's go Ohio State. Get me one, man. This is for you make up for last year because I don't have my Cowboys and all I have is Ohio State. And the last thing that tastes in my mouth is when the ball dropped at New Year's Day. This is the fucking worst year. I should have known the year was gonna be fucked after that happened to me, bro. This year went fucking downhill like never before at that fucking very moment. God damn, thinking back to that day. But hey, I'm excited either way. You want to move on to your birds, man?
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, I was ready to talk so much shit to you guys. I was sitting in the gym fucking so happy, like, holy fuck. You mean I still look at this Eagles team and I say, this Eagles team has 2 losses. 2 losses that they should have been handed to. But you know what? The Eagles get the job done, and those teams couldn't get done with the Cowboys and the Chiefs. I mean, watching that game, I was doing my cardio, and I'm watching it, and I was screaming at the TV watching how many people dropped the pass for Patrick. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, but can anyone come through for Patrick Mahomes? Can anyone make a catch? And I text you, I said, Travis Kelce's head is just not in it. It's just not in it. He's just dropping wide open fucking balls and fumbling. I mean, just fumbling the fucking ball. Like looking to the heavens, like what the fuck is going on to me? So I think he's not into it. But I did see a lot of like, hey, the Eagles aren't a Super Bowl winning team in my eyes. If you're saying, and I love the Liam that I get. Liam was talking like, I was like, yo, this is your Super Bowl. He's like, no. The Super Bowl is our Super Bowl. And I love seeing Liam talk that way because that's why I said to Liam, I was like, I love this Liam because it's like if I could get a clip of what Liam sounded 3 weeks ago, it's totally different than what the fuck he is now, and I love it. That's the Eagles delusion that exists, but it's for that Super Bowl team. But I don't think, and look, we can mark this clip now. You will not win a Super Bowl with this type of team right now.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I can totally disagree with you. I'll go over things that worry me, but to be 9-1. To have wins against the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, like these are all 7, 8, 9 win teams, like or 8 win teams because we're the only 9 win. Like it's hard to be like no that they're and this is the hate that I saw on Twitter from Cowboys fans. It's just pure hate coming from you as a Cowboys fan. Like no, they're not Super Bowl contenders. They're not the best team in football. Like they are. They just are. Like they're 9-1.
Record wise, you are.
No. Overall, they are. And you played the team that could argue to also be the best team in football last night in their house, off a bye, in the rain, down 10 at half. They folded. We came back. And like I said, like I'll go over things that concern me with the Eagles. Like the fact that they haven't played better than a B game. And even that's like a compliment and a half to them.
Yeah.
And they're still sitting at 9-1. Like they still have 3 legitimate wins. I don't know, like I don't know what else you want them to do because the argument always for these different teams, like the argument we see for the Dolphins, like, well, they can't beat anybody. And that's true. Like they played the Chiefs, got beat. They played the Eagles, got beat. Same thing with your Cowboys, right? Like that's the argument. They beat up on the bad teams when they lost the Niners, lost the Eagles. Like the Eagles are doing it all. They're beating bad teams. They're beating good teams. They're beating great teams. Regardless of how it happens, like they're finding ways to win. So I don't know how you can sit here and say that
I had deja vu, Liam. I had deja vu. This is exactly the place you were in last year, and I said to you,
and
Liam,
they made the Super Bowl, and they probably should have won a Super Bowl. So I would love to be in the same place that I'm in right now.
No, this is what I said to you fucking last year. If with all that talent, you're not beating, you're winning games. You're not beating teams. You're winning games. There's a huge difference between beating a team and a team beating themselves and you winning a game and beating a team. It's 2 different things. And you didn't see that last year. And I said to you, Liam, when it comes time to do it all, get it the fuck done.
And they did. And they were a bad call. They were a bad call and 3 points away from a Super Bowl. There's 1 champion out of 32. And the Eagles were one of 2 teams to be playing in February in the Super Bowl. So yeah, they were the one team that lost in the Super Bowl. The rest got fucking either beat by the Eagles or everyone else in the NFL, including the team that beat them in the Super Bowl. But to sit here and be like, oh yeah, if the Eagles don't rattle off 3 straight Super Bowl wins, then this means nothing. Like then you can't do it. You can't do it. Like they were one bad call away from Jalen Hurts driving down the field and winning that fucking Super Bowl, and you damn well know it. You damn well know it.
No, they were Jalen Hurts not fumbling. Jalen Hurts not the shit I said. Stop putting the game all on Jalen Hurts. Stop running the ball with just Jalen Hurts. Stop putting it all on Jalen Hurts. You guys have enough guys around you to where it doesn't always have to be on Jalen Hurts to win a game. I said that going into it, and exactly what I said happened in the game. They
lost the Super Bowl to the better team that day. But like there's one winner at the end of the season. So like I really don't understand how right. Well, again, at least we can make it. Anyway, going back.
Hey, no matter what, we were all in Hawaii. That's all that matters.
We weren't. No, we were in Arizona playing for a Super Bowl. It's something that you haven't seen your team do, and I think that's why you're kind of talking like this. But anyway, going back to last night's game.
You didn't win last year, correct?
Correct.
You didn't win last year. And I said the same thing to you, Liam. Beat fucking teams.
But that argument has nothing to like. What do you mean by beating teams? They're 9-1. They beat your team. They beat your team specifically. Okay. They beat a number now 2 or 3 seed in the AFC.
An average team. You barely beat an average team. That didn't count as you beat. We beat ourselves. You won the game, but we beat ourselves. You didn't.
Right. Again, it's just Eagles hate. Like, and I feel sorry for you and all the other NFL fans that are blinded by the hate because you don't hear that from any other team. It's a shame.
You hear that if with Patrick Mahomes, if he went out there, how many years ago was this? I forget, a couple years ago, where it was like they were winning these games, but it was like barely getting done. It was everyone nervous for Patrick Mahomes having to do what he has to do of winning the games. In my opinion, when it comes down to a big time game, you want to have close games. You want all season. We're winning our record. Your record means dick when it comes down to the playoffs and being able to beat a fucking team. Congrats. You get away. You skate away with wins. Last night, you didn't skate away with a win. You won that game. You showed up. You stopped them on off. You stopped Patrick Mahomes. Again, a bunch of drops, whatever like that. Whatever. You guys stopped Patrick Mahomes. You did your job. You did the Eagles did their job in that game. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to trucking it, I said the same thing last year, and I won't say it anymore. And I'll let the shit prove itself. Congrats, you make the Super Bowl because everyone else fucking blows. You guys are the better team. I'm telling you, guys are the better fucking team in the division. We'll get to Super Bowl. But if you don't start beating on fucking teams when it fucking matters, it translates into the Super Bowl. It translates not beating up on teams. You should have fucking beat up. There's no reason why that team right now, that Eagles team does not have a Super Bowl ring and Patrick Mahomes does. There's no reason because you weren't fucking beating teams. That's what it comes down to in my eyes.
And what I'm saying is what you're talking about of like beating teams. Like they I just gave you 3 examples because the rest of the games that they've won, like fuck Washington, fuck the Vikings, like whatever. Those games are what they are
as well.
Cowboys. What I'm saying is beating the Cowboys, beating the Dolphins in October and November, barely winning or whatever you're trying to say, or a Monday night game in the middle of November against the Chiefs isn't the sole reason or isn't the reason why you're not winning the Super Bowl when you're there.
Comes down to it, brother. It all
I guess so. Anyway,
so what you're saying is scrap the year. Then what you're saying is scrap the year. Super Bowl is a different game. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, Leo.
That's also what you're saying. You're just saying record doesn't mean dick. You're saying scrap the season as well. We're saying the same things, just in different sentences.
You're right. You're right. Same argument for both points.
Yeah. What worries me though about this team, and it's just broken record at this point. You can clip me saying it literally every week that we've done this since the season started. This offensive coordinator sucks. He fucking sucks. Brian Johnson. And again, it's weird to say because the stats are going to be like, we're top 3 in scoring, we're top whatever in yardage, and again, they're 9-1.
I think. Did he give you more to Swift? Like Swift was ripping shit.
That's again some of my things that I wrote down from last night. Quarterback draw play. I've never been so mad at a touchdown when Jalen Hurts scored that first rushing because it's like one of those things where you can do it 10 times and it only need to work once for him to be like, oh fuck yes, let's keep it in the playbook because it doesn't work. There were 2 situations last night. I think one was after the Kelsey fumble when you were backed up to the Chiefs like 15 or your own 15-yard line. You had 3rd down and 7. Chiefs are playing single high safety. You have 2 elite receivers. You have a running back who, when he's out in space, you saw what he can do.
Yeah.
And you ran a fucking quarterback draw that went nowhere.
Yeah.
On another drive, you had first down, wide receiver screen to the left for nothing. Second down, wide receiver screen to the right.
Hate that shit.
Surprise, surprise. That didn't fucking do anything. And then you had a play call where the Chiefs were like, fuck it, 3rd down 10, we're going to pin our ears back, get pressure. They did, sack, punt. And it's just like when I finally got a little confidence in them with that deep ball call to Devontae Smith to set up the game-winning touchdown,
oh my God,
then it came out that was a Jalen Hurts audible. That wasn't even him calling the play.
Wow.
So it's like I don't trust him Malik at all.
I think that what's interesting about the Eagles is the amount of 3 and outs they have. It's just it baffles me to have that many 3 and outs. It's like what? Like I think at one point it was like you had 3 and outs. And
yeah, they didn't. If you took out the 1 touchdown drive in the first half, they had like 10 yards total.
Yeah, total. Like that to me is where like I'm like this is a team, and I'm hating, I guess, that is beatable. But no matter what, the Eagles live off of our defense keeps us in fucking games until we can figure this shit out later on.
Right. And that's what and again, like what you brought up, just one last thing on the offense, like you had one huge drive. I guess it was the second Eagles drive of the game. Chiefs went down and scored. Your response, give the ball to Swift, run down their fucking throat. You got a touchdown, like right away. Yeah. Right. And then what do you see on the next drive? DeAndre Swift on the sideline. And it's almost like, are you like fucking going crazy right now? And I get Swift can't be on the field for even like 80 or 85% of the snaps, but you see what's working. Why are you trying? Like our other 2 running backs have done nothing this year. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Why are you almost like forcing them in the game? Or how do you not even let the running back who led you down the field on this touchdown drive doesn't even get it for a play? Like it's shit like that like, oh my God, man. I don't know if he's going to get it fixed.
So I said that's translation, baby. It can't translate.
Now, again, what was unbelievable to me was the defensive coordinator and the defensive side of the ball last night. Yeah. And the first thing I said coming out of the game was, if this was our D coordinator in the Super Bowl, we have a Super Bowl championship. And I firmly believe it. And I told you when that,
Yeah, we're getting beat a little bit too much.
Yeah, and they were. But that's what I mean. Like first half, Chiefs, 17 points. They had a couple drives where they went right down the field. You got 1 sack on Mahomes on the second play of the game. Didn't get anything since. And he switched up his schemes. He was bringing Byard down low in the box, blitzing him a lot more, getting pressure on Mahomes, forcing him.
He was pressured every time he dropped back.
In the second half.
Still making, I don't know how he's making throws, but that's where it comes to the quarterback. But he was pressured you pressure him to making a bad call or throwing it an inch out of like that last bomb he's had pressure in his face all day long.
It's adjustments, and that's what you didn't have last year, and that's what this guy's been awesome. Sean Desai, he's been great all year.
Who almost led up the game-winning touchdown? It wasn't Brad.
That was what's his name? Roby, I think.
Okay.
Nickel corner.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just he got beat by speed. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, I mean, look, through it all, like they went in, like we talked about it over the weekend. Like Andy Reid off a bye is almost automatic. At home, it's free money.
Yeah.
And the way that they played was arguably one of their worst halves of football I've seen them play all year in the past 2 years. And the fact that they came out and won that game, like literally was unbelievable. There's no way you play like that and beat, I don't know, like the Vikings. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be able to play that poorly against these mid-tier teams and win, let alone KC. And again, I know KC beat themselves with a couple like dumb penalties. Their offensive line, I don't think is as good as people think. They jump, they hold on every fucking call or every play. Obviously, the drop passes, I don't want to hear it because as Eagles fans, we've lived through that fucking shit.
Jesus, so bad to watch.
Yeah, but the fact like you were still able to get that win is so impressive. And now this Sunday, I need my squad to help me out with the Josh Allen and Bills take. Fucking take it.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Hey, and the Bills are coming off a great win as well.
Yeah, they need it too. Like they're gonna be playing desperate. So it's the Kelly Green game, the second one of the year, and the final one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fire. That's fire.
We'll see.
Oh fuck, that means Philly's gonna be on fucking shit this weekend, dude.
And Bills fans coming in, bro. This is gonna be like the tailgate of the year.
Which one's more hostile? Bills fans walking in or Cowboys fans walking in?
What will Eagles fans be more hostile towards?
Yeah. What do you think?
Cowboys. I have a feeling that
it's close.
I have a feeling Bills and Eagles fans are gonna be like just going crazy with each other. Like, yeah, there's going to be like banter and shit, but
Yeah, that's true.
at the end of the day, like Bills fans go crazy. I don't think there's any like bad blood on either side,
Yeah,
at least before the game. Might be after, but
yeah. Damn, that's a good win. That's a good week right there. Around the league, nothing too crazy. My Cowboys, we're America's team every week against a bad team, so that's fine with me. These guys get that guy out of here at some point. The Giants pull one out. Now they have this Italian kid who's fucking coming through and is trying to talk his talk. So hey, shout out to the Giants for getting one on their belt for right now.
Yeah, which probably is worse for them because of their draft pick, but
That's true. That's true. It is what it is. Hey, bro, it was a great game. I still think that they should have fucking pulled it out. But moving towards Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with the Joe Burrow lawsuit that's out there right now. So what it comes down to is coming off the plane. I couldn't fucking find the picture or the video for some reason, but I remember seeing it somewhere of coming out of the plane. You see that he has his hand like wrapped up. And he's like trying to hide it as well. And the reason there's a lawsuit out there, like a civil lawsuit out there against the Bengals, is because they didn't report it. They weren't reporting an injury to Joe Burrow. Obviously, this is an injury in which it should have been reported on because it wasn't an injury in which he was hit during the game. It was just throwing a ball and it was just fucking out of place. I don't know exactly what the injury is. Do you remember? Do you know exactly what it is?
Off the top of my head, I forget.
It's an awful season-ending injury. Like no matter what, it pretty much said, Vaughn, if your Ravens fucking blow it, I don't want to hear shit from now on. It's a fucking gift. Like from here on out, he just gave you the fucking gift. Get it the fuck out, right? But everyone loves Joey Ice. Like everyone wants to see him win. Like you see when he's healthy, what he can do, and you hope and pray that this isn't a guy in which he's just plagued by the injury plague, and you never get to see his true potential. Like you don't want to see that from him.
No, definitely not. And yeah, I don't know. I forget exactly what the diagnosis was. I think it's his wrist, but
yeah.
You see the explanation he had. He was like, yeah, sometimes my hand just flares up when we're on the plane. So it's a compression sleeve. And we're like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck?
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least he's trying.
I mean, what it comes down to? It strictly comes down to because it wasn't reported, Vegas says, fuck you, give us our money back. That's what it comes down to.
It's all about the money.
That's it. That's all it comes down to. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. But fuck, man, it sucks. Like, if that was my quarterback, I would just be down and out right now. You're like, as a Bengals fan, you're like, we had so much optimism. Like, we made a Super Bowl out of nowhere. We were close. We have, you have Chase. You have so many guys on that team. Like, you have a Bengals great defense. You have a franchise quarterback. That's the new age. When it was coming down to who's the new Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, like everyone said. He's the guy now. He's up there now. He's the Peyton Manning. It's not Josh Allen. And now you're like, fuck me, man. But we didn't talk about going around the league as well when all the tweets, my guy, Tavon Diggs, talking about his brother, like, hey, we got to get my boy out of there.
Yeah.
He's talking like he wants to be a Cowboy, bro. Holy shit. Come to the boys, baby. Come to us.
So interesting, isn't it? If Josh Allen was as good as I'm told he is, it's weird that his top receiver would want to be out of there. Huh.
Out of there. And he said, look at the numbers with my brother and without my brother, and you'll see the difference. And it's like, holy shit.
Very interesting.
I love it. Oh, we're not talking about Devon Bland. One of our cornerback has 4 pick sixes this year on top of it.
Yeah.
They're going to pull it's versus bad teams. It is what it is. But hey, it's still a record. He's right there on the record. So go get another one, kid. And I would love to see now next year what that could look like with Bland stepping up and Diggs coming back. That I'm happy with that as well. Like that's something I'm looking forward to. Micah Parsons had his season best, career best. 3 sacks as well. But who gives a fuck? It's not.
He did. Yeah.
He said he was throwing up on the sidelines too before the game. No. He said he took pre-work. This dude sounds like a.
I did. Yeah.
He's just like a fucking dumbass college like high school kid who like just does dumb shit. That he's like, I took pre-workout before the game and me throw up twice. Like. You fucking idiot. Like, there's millions of dollars into your training facility. Why don't you ask someone, yo, can I get an IV or something? Let me take fucking, like, you're in the fucking local gym right now and before a game. Like, he's just such an idiot, bro. Like, it reminds me of, like, one game in high school we played against Robbinsville. Our entire skills players took 5-hour energy drinks before the game, each one of them cramped up in the game, like multiple cramps. Like fucking idiots. Our guy's like, what the fuck happened? He was like, we all took 5-hour energy drinks. He's like, you guys are all dumbasses. Like you guys are fucking stupid. Like, and it was legit. It happened in the game. Like all of them cramped. So it's like that's how I equate Michael Parsons to just a fucking idiot, man.
Yeah.
Anything else around the league, NFL, that you want to speak about?
No, I think it's going to be a fun weekend. Obviously, Thanksgiving Day. There's a couple big ones. Obviously, I think you guys have Washington coming in. Yeah. Lions play the Packers. That was an exciting game. Lions come back this past Sunday, so see if the Packers can maybe do something. And then Niners Seahawks, which becomes a little less interesting. I think Geno Smith might not play. Kenneth Walker's out, so like Niners will probably take care of business. But I always love Thanksgiving Day games, man.
I mean, it sucks for me because we always play on Thanksgiving,
right?
But normally we always play against either we usually play the Lions or it's Green Bay, every single time. But wait, when do we play Thursday? Oh yeah, we do play. Yeah. Okay. So we're like the midday game.
I think you're always the middle game.
Yeah. Right? We're the midday game. Yo, the 49ers, they're back to hyping up Brock Purdy, coming off that game. But in all actuality, bro, that game they should have lost that game, bro. They up with them. Like I was like, the
Baker was slinging it a little bit.
Yeah, and truly second half, the reason 49ers pulled it out is that the Bucs could just not pull off a win, and it came down to like Baker Mayfield fumbling, Baker Mayfield pick six. So the Bucs defense was on the field all day long. Like the fact that the Bucs kept them down to 27 is a win in my eyes. If only they had a better quarterback to get it done. Like if the Bucs had a better offensive scheme, they could have pulled that win out because the defense was playing amazing. But I think this year, my Cowboys could beat up on the 49ers, win. Hey, I'm sorry. Let me preface this right.
Yeah.
Squeeze by and win a game versus the 49ers, and then we just get fucked up by the Eagles next week. So
anyway, about the safety, Hufanga, who's been awesome, he got like juked out of his ACL.
Yeah. No, did it really happen?
He tore his ACL.
Holy shit. In the game, I was like, yo, he tore his ACL, bro. He just got juked the fuck out of it. Holy fuck. Literally breaking your ankles. Like, bro, like I saw it. I was like, yo, he just broke his fucking ankles.
That's what we like as we're watching the game, like he makes the move, and then they're like, oh yeah, he's not on the field, he's getting evaluated. And we're like, oh my god, like he like literally got his ankles broken.
Dog, like he legit, and what fucked up is they showed it in slow-mo afterwards. And he was getting like bang, like juked out of his fucking that's hilarious. Hey, and there's one thing you want to watch about the 49ers. Fred Warner, he must have a twin because he's fucking everywhere. And I'm like, how did this guy go to BYU, first of all? But second of all, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is fucking nasty, bro. Like, I was like, after the game, I was like, dude, how does he like move the next day? Like, his body has to be destroyed the next day. Like, he probably doesn't practice till fucking Thursday. He doesn't even practice, bro.
Yeah,
like he must be in such great shape because he's breaking up passes, deflecting passes. He's anything that's on the other side of the field, he's fucking running over there. Like, this guy's a monster, bro. He's a monster, man.
Crazy, best linebacker in the game for sure.
100%, bro. Like, and his stats when I say it, but he's defensive player in my eyes. Like, I don't care what no one says, dude. He's everywhere, bro.
That's a good point.
You can't turn on the film without him.
No.
Hey, any last words, brother?
No, man. Good luck to you and your boys.
Hey, let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done, man. Hey, shout out to Ohio State. If we win this one, I'm buying hella merch Black Friday. It's beautiful timing. It's gonna be on its fucking way. But hey, shout out to the pod. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and those We Trust Podcast. Subscribe. We're on Apple Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music as well. And in the clips, we're on TikTok as well. So follow us on TikTok and on Twitter as well. Our Twitter is there. Everything's in the link in the bio on Instagram. And follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Trust up, guys.
All right. Thanks, Lee.